Howdy, everybody. It's your pal Misty. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. It is time for our Thursday night live stream. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to these Thursday nights. Get used to them anyway. But thank you for being here, Cheryl. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, Lori. Thanks for being here in the chat. I appreciate y'all being here this evening. It has been a week, I guess, since I talked to y'all last. I did post a video. I have not yet gone to reply to comments, but I have read them. Hey, Jess is here. Thanks for making the live stream, Jess. It is indeed, Cheryl, almost the weekend. You were right about that. Hey, Mary, thanks for being here. Marcy, same to you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all showing up and supporting me on these Thursday night live streams. It's been a fun week. It's been a fun month. Like I said, January was a good month, but it took so long. And I thought it was just me, but then I saw other people like doing memes and things of how long January was. I was like, oh, okay, it wasn't just me. I guess maybe that's just a thing that a lot of people go through. Hey, Mama, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Glad you had fun stuff to throw at Mardi Gras. I gave my mom a lot of my stuffed animals that I kept a bunch. I was going to say that as an adult, I did not need in that quantity. I guess I should end that statement with. I did not need that many in the quantity that I have. So I do still have stuffed animals. Let me not pretend for a second. In fact, if I like shift this camera up at all, you'll see some of them, but oh, it just says hers was super fast. I'm glad yours was super fast. My January seemed to take forever, but now February's been here. I've got to spend a lot more time with my team this month too, which I kind of missed in January because I was doing different year-end reportings and things. So I think they like keep me young. So I think hanging out with them has made the month go by a lot faster too, because I get to time spent with them seems to go by more quickly than time spent in reporting. So that's the truth. There really hasn't been too terribly much that has happened since last week. The weather was bad. Mary was feeling a little under the weather. I'm glad you're feeling better now, my friend. But so we canceled our walk because we were getting tons and tons of rain. So we didn't get to walk this weekend, which, to be fair, in like a year and a half, that's only the second time that we've had to cancel. And we probably could have figured out some place in the middle that it just wasn't worth it, right? Because she already wasn't feeling that great. So no big fun adventures this weekend. It was just a nice, relaxing weekend. Cheryl says, love this color blue. Thank you. This is probably my favorite color, blue. Like, we were talking about that randomly. Another reason I think things are going quickly too is because having something to look forward to always helps. So there are several of us that are going to get together in Ohio in April. And then I'm going to go get to meet Kirsten and the girls from boot camp in North Carolina. I'm going to leave from Ohio and go there. So I'm super excited for that trip. We're getting it all booked. We already have our Airbnb in Ohio. We're going to do the eclipse. Well, we're going to watch the eclipse. We're not going to do anything with it. We're just going to look at it. But I'm super excited. I'll get to meet Lori. I'll get to meet Camille. I'll get to see Deanna again. And Mary and I will travel there together. And then I'll get to meet so many people y'all don't know. Some of you know them, but all the girls from boot camp that I get to work out with all the time. So I'm super excited about that and have that to look forward to. Anyway, randomly when we were chatting about it, we were like, what's your favorite color? Mine is obviously orange. Orange is my favorite color, but I do have a favorite shade, and it's like a burnt orange. Just like the Longhorn orange is actually my favorite color of orange. I will take any shade, but it's my favorite. And then I'm like, and blue is my backup. And I was like, yeah, I do have a favorite shade of blue. And this is sort of that cobalt blue is the one that I like. Anyway, that was a long way to tell you thanks. I like this shirt too. I like this color. It's my favorite. And in the right light, it matches my eyes. So That's why I like it, I think. January cruise by for you? It just was so long. It felt like it took a really long time. I mean, to be fair, I barely remember December, so December might have taken forever, but it felt like it went by in a snap because I don't really remember much about it. Yeah, it should be fun, Marcy. I'm really looking forward to getting to meet new people. So, um, a few updates since last week as far as the chat goes. So I think with the Nightbot, I think I corrected some of the issues that we were having. And I think the weather was user error, not on y'all's part, but on my part. So if you weren't here last week or you didn't catch the replay, I'm trying to make the chat a little bit more engaging. So if you are a YouTuber and you would like to share your channel, it resets like every 5 or 10 seconds. But if you type in !pal, P-A-L, because you're my pal, it will share your YouTube link. And then with the weather, I think what we were doing wrong, if anyone would like to try, is it's !weather and then a space and your city. So it would be like !weather space Houston or Houston, Texas. And that should give you local weather. Oh, yeah, that's working. So Cheryl and Ron got their links out there. If you don't know Cheryl and Ron, I'm glad to know that is working. So if you, it's going to be !weather, then a space, then your city. Nope, it's still giving weather for Quero. I'll have to figure out the weather link must be not working because it's still giving the same weather. I don't know where Quero is. Okay, so we'll keep working on weather. Look at me, I'm taking notes. Y'all are my guinea pigs. Y'all didn't know. I'm treating y'all. My trainers, they keep me young. They also, I'll be doing stuff sometimes and they're like, were we just guinea pigs? I was like, yes, you were. Thank you for being here. It worked very well. Thank you. So I need to work on the weather one. I'm going to write it down just like I do when y'all are meeting work mode, Misty. I'm going to ask y'all to do something for me and then I'm going to write it down. So it looks like the YouTube links are working, which is great. So yeah, I think Mary, I just saw Mary put it in, but you need to put it in with no spaces. So we should have dad joke still in honor of my dad because he loved a good dad joke. They were just jokes to him, but he was my dad. So it should be !dad joke. And then I believe I have correctly set up. They're so stupid and I love them. Where do hamburgers go to dance? The meatball. It's so stupid. I can't help it. Those are my favorite. Why don't skeletons ever go trick-or-treating? Because they have nobody to go with. They're dumb. They're dumb. Oh, tequila shots. I don't know what that is, Jess. I'll have to look that up because I'm learning different commands. So, Jess, if you know some commands that other people use, I'm going to look that one up because tequila shot sounds fun. I'm trying to figure out how to play the games that Tasharia used to play, but it's through a different app and it is not as easy as Nightbot is. Oop. What's the difference between a rooster and a crow? A rooster can crow, but a crow cannot rooster. It's so dumb. I love it. Okay. Anyway, I mean, y'all can keep going, but so the other two is I did do dog fact. So !dog fact and then !cat fact because I know some of y'all out there love the cats. They're not your Pal Misty's favorite. Cats love me. Let me not lie. Cats love me. They think I'm great. In fact, I have one. She's not even in here. That's Barnum. I thought that was Ruby. I don't know where Ruby went off to, but I have one that is a cat in hiding. Anyway, so I did cat facts and dog facts for you. Let's see. Oh, here we go. In 1987, cats overtook dogs as the number one pet in America. That's stupid. I mean, that's cool, but dogs are better. Cats are easier for sure, but dogs are better. Hold on. Whoa, wait, I gotta go back up and find them now. Hold on. Says my cat was just sick on the carpet. I don't think it's feline well. That must have been a dad joke. I was expecting a cat fact because I saw my cat. It's so dumb. Y'all are just gonna have to hear me giggle all night long. Hey, Kenneth, thanks for being here. If your dog's acting funny, get out the umbrella. According to a PetSide.com Associated Press poll, 72% of dog owners believe their dog can detect when stormy weather is on the way. I mean, maybe they can. I don't know. Says if a cat is frightened, the hair stands up fairly evenly all over the body. When the cat is threatened or is ready to attack, the hair stands up only in a narrow band along the spine and tail. So if the hair is up all over the place, you ain't got no worries. It's only gonna kill you and take your breath if it's a straight mohawk down the middle. Let's see here. Leather is great for sneaking around because it's made of hide. The dad jokes kill me. I don't know what website they're using, but they're so good. It's so fun. Anyway, I'll look up tequila shots and see what that is. I'm not sure, but I'm sure I can find it. If somebody's created it, it's got to be out there somewhere. But if you do know of any other just fun commands or whatever, feel free because I obviously enjoy them and I will add them because although the live stream is here for all of us, I like being entertained. And I think the more entertained I am, the more entertained y'all are. So, oh, you need to let me talk now. Not really. I mean, I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep giggling. I like them. Oh, you just made it up? Dang it, Jess. We'll have to come up with something for tequila shot. Maybe I can figure out. I'm not going to learn how to write code for that. I probably could, though, but I'm not going to. I probably have a friend I know, actually, we could come up with some kind of game for it. Sorry, I just saw I have your spiky ball. I said it was my favorite fidget. It's not my favorite fidget. It's just my favorite style of fidget. And it's a little one and it don't make no noise and I lost it. And I'm very sad. I had it on the walk. I remember fidgeting with it in my hand. And then I got back from the walk and I had not come inside yet. And I went in my pocket to get it out and it was not there. So I took the dogs inside. I walked the path again. I could not find it. I don't know where I dropped it. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like these two little bicycle chains. And I don't even know how to explain it. And then you twirl them. You just twirl them in your fingers. I've been using the Tangle, but I was using your spiky ball. Mary gave me this, for Halloween, Christmas? I don't know, because I'm a child and I love toys. The only thing about it's super fun though, guys. Watch if you bang it, whoops, it flashes. Oh, trigger warning, flashing. Boop, boop, boop. The thing is, it's hard, and so I get it, and then I start making it light up, and I start playing. It hurts. It gives me pain on my hand. So I need to put it away because I'm going to hurt myself with that. Kenneth says Captain Kirk had 3 ears, a right ear, a left ear, and a final front ear. That's a Kenneth joke, but I still appreciate it. I'm not a Trekker, but I mean a little bit. I do like it, but I like Star Wars more. I guess I know more about Star Wars than that, but anyway, so yeah, not much has gone on this week. We did the live stream last week. I put out a video. I'm trying to have another video out for tomorrow. Hoping to do Tuesdays and Fridays and then live streams on Thursdays is where I'm shooting for currently. We did do a fun workout today though. So it was kind of funny because I don't even remember how long ago it was, but I remember it was partly because of Kirsten, and I was asking her about bands and what type to use because there's different types of bands. There's like a flat band or like a tube style band. And anyway, I had started watching these guys on YouTube called Bob and Brad. They were on Facebook as well, and they're just silly, and they're like the world's most famous physical therapists on the internet. Like I want to sing it because they do this stupid little song. And they had bands, so I bought their brand of bands, and that's what I've been using for the last, I don't know, 2 years maybe. It feels like I've had them for quite a while. And so today she was like, "Hey, these guys, Bob and Brad, sent me these bands and asked me to do a video with them." And I was like, "What? Bob and Brad? They're my favorite." I was like, "They're the world's most famous physical therapists on the internet," which she had already said in her little thing because she had never heard of them before. But I was like, "Yeah, look at my." In fact, some of them are still out because I was taking pictures to show them earlier. But we got to do a band workout today, and it was kind of fun because I'm going to talk about fitness, and then we'll talk about perspective. But it was kind of fun because I've been using bands a lot, but like for physical therapy. So 75% of my physical therapy exercises outside of like the stretching part that I start with is done with bands. So I've had my bands set up. I actually have a strap on my door that has like loops at different levels. So I pull it from there. So it stays on the door. It's not perfectly like steady or anything, but I'm not going to pull it off of the door or anything. So it's secure. But it was fun because we did a workout with them today instead of just PT, physical therapy, right? So Cheryl's going to replay the workout. Yeah, if you have bands, you can always do the same exercises with weights too, but this was just something different. So today in her live stream, she did the episode with their bands, and then as she was using them, she's like, "I really kind of like these. These are really like these are good bands." I was like, "They're real nice." I was like, "Coach, we're twins, and not even on purpose this time, because normally she'll get something and then I like it and I'll buy it, or I'll get something and then she'll like it and then she'll buy it." And it's just been kind of a running joke that we're the Bobsey twins. Or the Wonder Twins actually is where, so we can Wonder Twins unite. Anyway, I was like, "Hey, we're already twins, Coach, because I already have them bands." And I've loved them for a long time and I've used them. But I've learned a lot in the last few weeks using the bands, because I actually really started using them not only for my own shoulder physical therapy, but I've created some band workouts for my mom to do, which is lower body, which was totally new to me because it wasn't a way that I had used them before. And boy, howdy, when I tell you them bands, boy, they make a difference. I'd been doing the like the bands that go across your legs. I call them booty bands because that's what a lot of the things are calling. That's like what Amazon calls them. But I did like squat walks with those because I had my mom doing it. I was like, "Oh my God, clamshells with that." I was like, "Woo!" And the bands are kind of fun in that because you get resistance at different points of the movement than you do when you're using weights. So it really just changes everything. It was a workout, but my legs were like, "Shut up, stop." You can no longer step to the left. But I love that because a lot of the times I'll finish a workout and I'm like, "Yeah, I wasn't very challenged. I should have worked harder. I should have done more." And one thing that I have learned that I like about the bands is hello, if you're new here, I am my biggest hurdle. And I'm certain that I limit myself in workouts because I'm not that strong. But with the bands, I'm not really sure how hard it is, right? Like it says it's 30 pounds, but if you move your feet out a foot in either direction, it's going to feel like more. So I just push and do the band as best I can. So I kind of like it because I feel like I might be pushing, not feel like, from the way I feel after I use the bands, I'm going to say I push harder without realizing it because I'm not thinking I'm just pushing a 15-pound weight or a 12-pound weight or whatever it is, right? So I kind of like that about the bands because it's not an exact strength level because you can change it, but I think for me that's a benefit. I think it could also be negative, which could be a perspective thing we'll talk about. Just says she can't bring herself to edit videos anymore. You have a Nashville vlog that's almost ready. I've been doing better with the videos and the editing. I'm still working on the ropes course thing. I want to do stuff with it, and then part of me is like, just put it out, Misty. It's fine. It's funny to me, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You watch Bob and Brad too, Mary? I love that. Yeah, Mom. I think, Mom, you might have been the one who referred me to them a while ago, it feels like, for some kind of stretching or something that they were doing. And then I just started watching. Yeah, they're so funny. I feel it's kind of a sad story because Bob, who, if you ever watched him back in the day, he was the taller of the two gentlemen. They remind me of the Smothers Brothers a little bit. Like Bob is kind of the straight man to Brad's funny guy, right? Because they're just so funny together. But I'm going to get it wrong. Bob has ataxia, which basically impacts his balance. I always get it confused with apraxia, which is where you can't find the words to speak. So in this, he loses his balance, and he's a chiropractor, and they've done all these things on balance and building balance and stability and things like that. And so he's on every once in a while now. They have another guy named Mike who does the videos with him. But anyway, Bob and Brad are really cool. I've always loved them. And so she's like, what? I didn't even know who these guys were. Right? And Cheryl and I were all like, yeah, we know Bob. We love them. Yeah, great minds think alike, right? I was like, oh, I was 2 years ahead of you on that one, Coach. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. Yeah, I know I am strong. I was actually really proud because before I had realized it the other day, I had used my 15 pounds for the whole hour workout except for the overhead when I did 12, which means as soon as I get my overhead stuff back up to the 15 pounds, I should hopefully finally be able to meet that goal. One of the goals that I had last year, sort of the super secret goals, right, was to be able to use my 15-pound dumbbells for the whole 1 hour strength session. And I have not made that yet. But now I'm pretty much only limited to the overhead pressing stuff. So depending on how much of that we do, I'm getting pretty close. So, hey, Gina's here. Oh, Gina, I missed your birthday. I'm sorry, honey. Happy birthday, Gina. She turned a big 5 or 6. Cheryl said they do remind you of the Smothers Brothers, right? Because you have kind of the funny one and the straight guy, and Bob's funny too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like the way they play off of each other, and they call it a boomstick. I don't have that. I have a Dollar Tree. A Dollar Tree. It's so versatile, guys. If you have a Dollar Tree in your area and you don't own one, go to Dollar Tree, go to the cleaning section, and where they have the brooms, they have a broom handle. And then they have all of these things that you can put on the broom handle. I use the broom handle for so much physical therapy. In fact, some of my physical therapy moves are using a stick. I use the broom handle. Best $1.25 investment ever. I started out, for those of you who've been here long enough, doing lunges with my barbell, but eventually I transitioned to the broomstick. It's really good for like stretching your shoulders out. And if you need a great fitness tool, $1.25, Dollar Tree, go get it. And then get you some of them attachments, clean your house. It's great. I actually have 2 of them. Because I keep one as a broom, and then I have one that I use for everything else, including my fitness workouts. That was more information than y'all cared or needed to know, but it seemed funny, so I wanted to share. Yeah, happy birthday, Gina. Happy birthday. You're a Valentine's baby. If you told me that, I totally forgot. I feel like I would have remembered that, but I did not remember Gina. But happy birthday. And yeah, happy Valentine's Day to everybody yesterday. I hope you had a great day. I did nothing. It was fun. Actually, what did I do last night? I kind of don't remember. What did I do last night? Oh, I remember I was kind of sick last night. I was very congested, and then I was trying to finish out my steps and I got real dizzy and the ringing in my ears got real loud. Uh in fact, I was telling him that I got dizzy on the jump lane, and Mary's like, "How are your ears?" I'm like, "They're loud." Is how they are. They don't hurt or nothing. They're just real loud. So I took some cold medicine, some decongestants. And so this morning I woke up, I felt like trash. But I knew I was going to walk with Amy, so I took some Alka-Seltzer, and then the walk helped and cleared all that out. Uh, but like last night is a fog. I probably watched. I honestly don't have any idea what I did last night. Mary, did I say what I did last night? Cheryl, did I say what I did last night? I don't. I honestly. Oh, let's not talk about my memory. It's better. But if I'm in any kind of like congestion fog, depression fog, menopause fog, whatever, my brain is just like donezo. It's done for. Hey, Diana, thanks for being here. You love Bob and Brad as well. I know they're so great. I thought it was kind of funny that she hadn't heard of them, but I guess as I was thinking about it later, because I thought it was funny that she hadn't heard of them, I'm like, but they're like good fitness guys and things like that. And I was like, well, I guess she's not having to learn. She already knows all this stuff and is certified in 3/4 of it. So I was like, I guess she didn't need to go learn how to do different moves. Oh, that's cool. Gina said her parents met on Valentine's Day, and then 5 years later you were there. That's kind of fun. We talked about not hitting our steps goal for the day. Yep, that I remember. And then I don't know what else I did yesterday. I don't have any idea what I watched. I feel like if it was Life Below Zero, I would at least remember that. I still love Life Below Zero. I don't remember when I told y'all that, like months and months and months ago, that's the show I can turn on and then turn off my brain. I love it. That, and then there's another one, Port something, Alaska, Cape Protection, Port Protection. I don't know. I can't remember the name. It's in my playlist. I just hit play on it. Oh, and I have recently started rewatching Gravity Falls. I know that's not what I did last night, but I know that's what I have been doing. Oh, and speaking of cute movies, I got distracted. We'll get to perspective here in just a moment. I didn't say what I was going to watch. Dang it. It must not have been good or entertaining, which is what makes me think that it might have been YouTube, something random on YouTube. I honestly have no idea right now what I did last night. Did I eat? Did I tell you if I ate? It's fine. Whatever. Is it an Alaska or an Arctic show? It's an Alaska show. Both of them are Alaska shows. Life Below Zero is great. I don't know anybody's name except for Sue because she says her own name so many times. But I love it all because they're always about to cut off a limb from either a tree or their own body. They're either shooting at caribou, they're shooting at moose, they're shooting at bear, they're skinning moose, they're skinning bear, they're looking for ptarmigans all the time. A ptarmigan, it's like a little chicken all the time. It's the same thing over and over and over again. I probably have seen the same episodes 4 times and just have no idea because it is always the same thing. They're always about to die. It is always, they don't have enough water. It is and so I turn it on and my brain goes poof. which I have used to my benefit in a way that was unexpected. My brain, I'm sorry. I'm having a great day, but my brain is all over the place. I was going to say it's actually helped because I was thinking I've been having trouble eating recently. I've been doing really good recently, but I was struggling with food aversion where I didn't want to eat anything ever, no matter what it was. Any food, I just didn't want any of it. And I was thinking I'm one of those people that normally when I eat food, I sit at a table or my kitchen island. I sit at the kitchen island. I don't watch TV. I just sit there. I look at my food. I don't really smell it, but I look at my food. I taste my food. I eat my food. That is the one singular experience. But I didn't want to do that. And so then I forget what I was watching, but they were talking about how they started doing that and they found that it made them eat less because they were always eating in front of the TV and just like throwing back food and not realizing. I was like, oh, that's a good. What if I turn my brain off? Can I then have more food? And so Mary's my accountability partner for eating when I'm not wanting to. I tell her that I'm doing it and what I'm eating. And I'd be like, okay, turning on Life Below Zero. It's time to eat. And it really did help. I was able to eat more food, even if I didn't want it. Because it's just like I turn that show on and my brain goes, ploop, and then I just eating. It's great. Cheryl says Sue from Life Below Zero is great. She's so funny. She's old and just cranky and don't even care, and she's living exactly the life she wants. Just as her husband makes her watch those shows. You don't mind it, but it also scares you that it's giving him ideas. Oh, yeah, no, I don't ever want to do it, Jess. I don't ever want to go there. That's ridiculous. Are you kidding me? And then there's one guy, especially on Life Below Zero. The other one's more like they're a community of people, and they all help each other, and that's kind of fun. But I do also like the Life Below Zero because I don't know his name, but there's more than one guy, but there's one guy in particular. He's got like brown hair. It's kind of wavy curly, but he doesn't have any power tools. He does like everything is handmade. He even makes his own tools when he needs to. Like he could have power tools. He just doesn't. What? No, I'm not doing that. No, that's silly. Sue is always complaining about her own mess ups. Girl, you did that. Gina says she loves Deadliest Catch on Discovery Channel. That's the king crab, right? I've watched those too. It kind of has the same effect. I'm learning that any of those, because there's the other oh no, what's the one where they're doing the salmon, or is that's not Deadliest Catch. Isn't Deadliest Catch the crab one? But there's another one where they catch them like 1,000-pound salmons. Any of them type of shows, I have learned my brain just goes, whoop, it just turns off. It's great. It's great. That's what I watch before bed most of the time because I just don't think, and then I go right to sleep. Gina says Cheryl, her mom was set on naming you after a Johnny Mathis song called Gina. She was a big Johnny fan. Wicked Tuna. That's the one, Jess. Yes. Does he make you watch those too? Wicked Tuna. Yes, that's the one. I've watched way too many episodes of that one as well. There's way too many. I've seen probably seasons and seasons of that one. Again, I could probably start them over. Because in fact, I got lost at some point at where I was in Life Below Zero. And I tried to figure it out. And I watched a good 4 episodes before I got to one that I was like, oh, wait, I've already seen this one. I know for sure. So I just kept it playing because maybe they die. But Deadliest Catch, I've watched so many episodes and can't remember the name because it just makes me go, whoop. It's great. I don't want to do any of it. I mean, I did go offshore fishing with Will. That was actually, what, a year ago? It was fun. Deadliest Catch is the crab one. Yeah. I like that one. I like the blonde-headed guy family. That's all that I know them about. I don't know, guys. I don't know anybody's name. I don't know. I can give you things that I remember, but there's one family and the head brother and then the younger brother, they're both blonde headed. They're like, I don't know, Norwegian, Scandinavian, I don't know, Swedish. What are they? I don't know. Just as the fact that Alaska, the last frontier is Jules' family blows your mind. Wait, is that a show? Am I missing a show somewhere? Maybe I need to. Jewel the singer? Is that who you're talking about? Captain Sid. Yes, Norwegian. See, I mean, I don't watch it enough to know that it's a thing and can talk about it. That's about it. Um, yes, Alaska, the last frontier. Huh. What do you know what platform it's on, Jess? I got most of them, but she sings the theme for the show. I'm writing it down. Maybe I don't know if it'll make my brain turn off, but I'm really enjoying these Alaska shows. I don't want to go there. I like to stay or nothing. Cheryl likes the series Alone. Is that the one, Mary? Y'all were telling me who? I feel like I was talking to somebody about that. Oh, you used to watch it when you had cable. Okay, on Discovery. You think? I'll look it up. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so we're now so far into it, and I have not intentionally been procrastinating. I have just once again, for whatever reason, I feel like I haven't talked to y'all in forever, even though I just talked to y'all last week. Jamie says her favorite was Captain Phil. He passed away and you cried like a baby. Captain Phil. I don't know if I remember that one. I probably would if I saw a picture of him because I have seen a bunch of them episodes. You love Alone? Everybody loves Alone. I feel like Mary, was that the one that who was I talking to about that? That's where they drop them off in the middle of nowhere, right? Mary, weren't me, you and Natasha talking about that? Is that the show we were talking about? Your brother and husband met one of the guys who was on it? Again, like the biggest, is it the biggest race? The biggest adventure? Oh no, what's that game show I'm supposed to join Camille on? The Great Race? The Great Race, right? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if it's not important, it's not sticking in my memory, and not that hanging out and doing fun, eating gross stuff with Camille doesn't entertain me. I don't watch the show. I know that it's like an adventure. The Amazing Race. I was so close. The Great Race. I was so close. Amazing Race. Y'all are so smart. I love y'all. You think Natasha was talking about it? Yeah, I felt like we had about people being left like just with few objects or something. You want to be on the Amazing Race? I mean, Camille's looking for someone who can drive stick shift, so I volunteered. Because I'll do it. I'll try anything once. I might not like it. I might end up vomiting, but don't mean that I won't try it once. In fact, that's kind of a good transition into something else that I wanted to talk about, and that's perspective. And I'm going to lead into it in a weird way now because that's what made me think of it, was fear was my word for last year. And I struggled with that being my word for last year because it was a negative connotation of a word in my mind. And what I learned in going through the fear is that it is just a feeling like any of the other ones. And so this weekend, y'all know I'm a child. I love animated movies. And there's a new movie on Netflix called Orion and the Dark. And if you can, Mama, yeah, I know you can't watch it. It's fine, Mama. I love you. My mama hates animated movies. She hates them probably as much as I love them. Anyway, it's called Orion and the Dark. And I won't spoil it for you or anything or tell you what it's about exactly, but it's about a father and a daughter, and him looking back and telling her a story about when he met Dark, who ends up being a character in the movie. But the overall theme of the movie is, I feel like it's my life motto. I watched the movie and I was just kind of thunderstruck. It's funny for me when a child's movie hits so hard. Um, but the main motto of the movie, and they said it in the movie too, but was feel the fear and do it anyway. Because it's just a feeling. And that really hit home again with me, because I was like, that's exactly what I learned last year, was that fear is there. Fear is real. It is scary, but it is a feeling. So is happy. So is sad. It is a feeling. So is fear negative? It's your perspective. How are you looking at it? Because last year I tried to look for things that scared me and then try them. I'm still doing that. I'm meeting people I've never met before. I'm going on trips. I'm taking part of the trip by myself. All of these things for me are scary things. I'm afraid to do them a little bit. Feel it and do it anyway. It's okay to feel afraid to start something. It's okay to feel afraid of failure. It's okay to feel the fear. Do it anyway. It's a feeling. So, Jess says, sorry, back to Amazing Race. Jess doesn't even care about the prize. She just wants the countries and the cool challenges. That's kind of what I would like too, just to be able to go to all those different places and do fun things and see places other people don't get to. Yeah, right, Cheryl, the movie was so good. Yeah, it had such a great message. So, I mean, if you don't like animated movies, you don't have to watch it. Just know that the main message of the movie was feel the fear, do it anyway. And for me, perspective has just been, it's come up in a lot of different ways, always, but I always talk about how words are important for me. And I think one of the reasons that words are important for me is, I mean, if you haven't met me, I'm pretty literal. So sometimes I overanalyze things and I look at them in a certain way, and it is hard for me to step outside of that and see it from a different perspective. Hey, Sherry is here, and Alan. Yay, thanks for joining. And if feeling the fear is not enough, do it anyway because I said so. That's right. Do it because Misty said so. Gina says your animation is more like the movie Coco. Coco is a good movie. It's sad, but it's a good movie. With perspective, right? Another thing that's recently I've just been thinking about it, right? Because I'm always so curious, and y'all know I love Deanna. She does her live stream every Saturday at 9 a.m. Central, and she does journaling, and she goes through the habitual habits, right? The habitual thing of here's what we do first, then we do this, we get our body moving, then we talk about what was good, so we have all these rituals or habits that we do there. And she talks a lot about habit tracking. And so it's not just her. She's just one of my favorite people that talk about it. But I understand habit tracking. I totally, absolutely get that, because I think it's about what healthy things can you add. We've talked about this before, maybe even last week a little bit. But for me, when someone comes to me now and was like, what advice would you give for someone who's starting? My advice is, what thing can you add? Don't restrict. Start with addition, not with subtraction, because as you start to do the good habits, the bad ones will fall away. But I'm curious, have any of y'all known or have any of y'all tried And again, it's a different perspective, but does anybody track the habits they want to get rid of? Because we talk so much about positive habits, and I think that's great because those are the ones we want. But I just don't hear a lot of people actively saying, and this is what I'm doing to eliminate this negative habit. And so I'm really just curious because y'all know I'm not a journaler. I vlog on YouTube. Think Deanna says I keep it all in my head. I just do what I can in my head, right? I do keep track of things, but obviously my memory is bad. But I'm just kind of curious, is that something you'll have heard of? What do you think about that? Because and my thought process on it was that I think it might could be beneficial for some people in the fact that the tracking is an accountability, right? So sometimes they'll drink that glass of water or they will do that workout. They may only give 10%, but they'll check the box, right? And that's better than nothing. And you're checking a healthy box. And it's leading you to doing it so that you can check the box of that habit, right? Would the same in reverse work? I think for some people it would, right? If you started to track the things that you didn't want to do and had to track them, would that help prevent you from doing them? Let's see. Everybody saying hi to everybody. Everybody saying hi to everybody. You subconsciously do it? You subconsciously track the things you're trying to get rid of? Sherry says she does. She has to do 5 push-ups each time you yell or raise your voice. Everybody up in here keeps track. I'm sorry. I mean, that's funny too. Sherry, your boys, I'm sure they'll be like, drop and give me 5, mama. I love that though. Actually, I think that's wonderful because you have not only tracked a negative habit that you want to stop, you've put a punishment on it. And that was one step advanced, which I was going to lead into. Do you give yourself a negative reward, right? If you did that habit, do you have to do something negative? And would that work? Because it's so ingrained in so many of us to be negative and in a negative mindset. Can we kind of trick ourselves into tracking the negative things? And that will really make you pay attention to them. And the less you do the negative, the more the positive may just kind of help. I may be I'm not a psychologist, psychotherapist. I'm not a licensed doctor or physician. I'm your pal Misty, and I'm just curious about what y'all think about stuff. And I want to tell y'all what kind of stuff I've been thinking about. So I mentioned it a couple of times on different live streams, just asking, and I thought I'd bring it up here because this is my live stream, and I'm just kind of curious if it's something. So does it work for you, Tasheri? I think it does actually, because I think Tasheri, you were saying that you were getting better at not yelling and raising your voice. And all right, Diana, have a great evening. Thanks for stopping by. Lori says that's an interesting thought. You think it's more of a positive reinforcement thing, trying not to focus on the negative, but I think that could work for some people for sure. Yeah, I am all for positive reinforcement. And there is a whole method, the Aubrey Daniels method of positive reinforcement, the picnic, where you give a lot of positive reinforcement right up front so that then the positive reinforcement doesn't have to come as often. Negative reinforcement doesn't work, right? I don't think so. That's why I'm curious, does anybody do it that way? Does that work for people? Because I almost wonder if that could get you into it, and then maybe you would want to start tracking the positive. I'm a believer of positive reinforcement, but I've just seen different things, and like Sherry gave a great example, I just find it also curious, and I just wonder if that works for people, because there are people who are so, if anything, to be honest, well, in a lot of ways I am really hard on myself, but in a lot of ways I'm too easy on myself because I'm so hard on myself in other ways. So for me, positive reinforcement has always worked for me, right? That works for me. Give a lot of positive reinforcement, then they get it. There's actually a story about I've trained Aubrey Daniels material before, and one of the stories that they share in one of the trainings that we did was they had a llama that they needed to weigh. And how do you weigh a llama? Like, they don't want to get up on a scale. They know what a scale is. They're not trying to get up on that scale for you. So they had to figure out how to get this llama up on the scale, and everybody had tried, and they would pull this thing, and they would, like, 3 or 4 people, like they're playing tug of war with this silly llama, and nobody could get that llama to move to get on that scale because that scale was a scary thing for them, just as it is for a lot of us. So there was someone who said, let me try a different way. Instead of pushing from behind or pulling on the thing, they gave the llama a treat. The llama took it. And then they took like a step closer to where they were going to be, and the llama took it. And then they went back to where they were, and they put down a piece of cardboard. And they gave the llama pieces until the llama got to the cardboard. And then it put 1 foot on the cardboard. They went back. Then they would take 2 or 3 steps, give a treat. 2 or 3 steps, give a treat until it would get on the cardboard. Then they'd go back. And in no time, they had the llama walking right up to the scale, stepping on it, because they replaced the cardboard with a scale. And it had positive reinforcement to where at the end, they didn't need any treats to get the llama on the scale, because it had so much positive reinforcement and belief in itself that this thing was okay to do. It is a good, healthy thing. Let me get up on that scale. And it was healthy for them, because that's one way they track how they're healthy or not, right? So I am a big believer in positive reinforcement, and you need to give yourself a lot of it right up front, or get it from people in your community to really reinforce that. But everybody's different. And so that's why I wanted to talk about it and see, how y'all felt. Let me get back up. Mary says it sounds like it would work. Yeah, I think for some people it might. Sherry says it has helped. She's gotten a lot better. You had to put the Arnold press back into the workout lineup. Yeah, no, I love you. I love how much you love the Arnold press, to be honest. The positive reinforcement works for you, Cheryl? Jess says maybe you could track every day you don't do the habit so you can see progress that way. That could also be a thing. And like, I like Deanna's idea of the something's better than nothing tracker, because I do think giving yourself credit, and that's a very positive reinforcement type of tracker that she uses, which is why I don't use it personally because I don't track, but I like the idea behind it. And I think it could be a benefit to a lot of people, because you don't just get a yes or a no, because you didn't just do it or didn't do it. You just didn't meet the goal that you wanted, but it doesn't mean that you're not increasing and maybe getting better at the things that you want to get out. How do you weigh a llama? Is that a dad joke? Sadly, it's not. But it's a good lesson. Now, with positive reinforcement up front, something that you thought was scary, you learn is not even scary anymore. So now you don't even have to feel the fear and do it anyway. You just go, because it's not scary no more. Because pushing that llama, they weren't going nowhere. Ask your mama. Mama, how do you weigh? I'm sorry, Jess. I know that's not what you meant, but you said ask your mama. Mama, how do you weigh a llama? Slowly, with treats over time. But yeah, so it's all how you look at something, right? And we talk about this all the time at work, because a lot of times the best feedback you can get is asking someone else for it, their critical feedback, and actually being open to it, because you're going to be like, you are wrong. But you ask them for their perspective. You don't get to say it's wrong. That's how they perceived it. And unfortunately, perception is key. If you think it's going to be hard, it probably is. If you think it's going to be easy, it probably is. If you think you're never going to do it, you're not, because you're never going to start. Perception is perception. It doesn't necessarily mean that's why I always say this, and I do mean it in a lot of ways, but just in generalities, but I say what you think about me is none of my business, because that's your perception. But I do think there are times and benefits of asking people's perception of you, where you want to change a perception that people have and you're not sure what's causing it. You can ask and you can look into that. Or when it comes to how you're perceiving a habit, are you perceiving it as hard? Is there a different way you could look at that habit? Could you, put something negative against it? Would that help you? Some people are really driven by the negative reinforcement because they know they'll actually do it if they set it because they that's what drives them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I love that y'all talked about it with me, and I love that it works for you, to share it, at least in that one regard, right? With that one habit. And it could be different per habit. I think we all have a different perspective on things. And that's why I love this community, because y'all know I eat a keto low carb lifestyle. A lot of you don't. And none of us care, because you know that what works for me won't work for you. I could eat a banana and act one way, and you could eat a banana and act a whole different way. Was it the banana's fault? No, it was never the banana. I mean, it was, but it was due to the person, right? So everybody's so individualistic. That's what makes it hard. We can only share what we're doing and what works for us from our perspective. So when you're out there and you're looking at what people are doing, I just want you to know, one, it's a video. They've put time and thought into it. Some of us less time and thought than others, maybe, but they're coming from a certain perspective, especially with big online influencers. A lot of that perspective comes from marketing and money. So just be careful with what you're looking at and who you're looking into, and think about what their perspective is. And think about your own perspective on how you look at things. Do you look at things as fearful, when fear is just a feeling like anything else and you can feel it and that's fair and you can move through it? Or do you see fear as something fun, right? I ended up looking at fear as fun last year, when I almost didn't want to pick the word because I felt like fear was a negative. When it turned out fear was a positive. I had to change my perspective. So I just wanted to, somebody's car alarm's going off. Okay, I think we're good. So I just wanted to chat about that in regards to the tracking, just because I've honestly just really wondered if anybody does that, because I feel like I've seen a few people who do sort of a negative reinforcement. And although that's not the style for me, that's not the style that works best for me, I'm just kind of curious, because I will be helping people hopefully in the future, and different people are motivated and driven by different things. And so I like to get y'all's perspective on things, because we are so different. And yet we're all here to support each other. We all have the same goal, right? To support each other and to live our happiest and healthiest lives, and do whatever you can every day to do that. So, I wake up every day and I am excited that I got to wake up again and that God knows my name. And after that, I just try to have the best day that I possibly can. And that's how I live my life, is just every day to try to be the happiest and healthiest version of myself that I can. And if I'm looking at it in negative ways, is there a way I can change my perspective? Because the perspective is all in how you look at it. And that is something that you have the power to change. Oh, hey, Hala. It took me a minute because you're on your craft channel when Hala, sorry, it took me a second to realize who you were in chat. Hello, Hala. Yeah, fear is fun. It is now. And it was definitely not a perspective that I had either. Fear was scary. But I'll tell you what, before I was about to get on that ropes course, I was freaked out. I was so scared and excited to death. Like, or like, let's talk about another one just real quick and then I'll wrap it up. We're in the middle of a live stream workout this week. And coach is like, oh, hey, yeah, Misty, when you come to North Carolina in April, I'm going to get you a massage she said her name. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. She's like, with my girl so-and-so. And I was like, we're normally muted. So I had to come off of mute. I was like, oh, great. You're going to pay a stranger to touch me. Sounds fun. But I messaged her later and I was like, I really want you to know that it really does sound fun. It sounds scary, but fear now is like, let's try it. Let's do it anyway. It's scary. Do it anyway. So I'm going to have a stranger touch me. I'm kind of excited about it. It makes me nervous giggle. I'm so nervous, but fear can be fun. Just feel it and then do it anyway. And if you need to help changing your perspective, reach out to your community, me included. Oh, Gina says she's going to have to replay. Her niece called. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, we're closing it down for this evening. I thank you all for being here with me. I know we had some fun this evening. We got to try some new chat features. We got to talk a little bit about tracking and perspective on that. And I mean, it goes with everything, the perspective, right? But feel the fear, do it anyway. Positive reinforce if that works for you. Negative reinforce if that works for you. Whatever you need to do to live your happiest, healthiest life, do it every day. Tashiri says, yeah, it's case by case because you mostly try to create and maintain healthy habits. You reward yourself frequently. You currently track 5 things each week, then get rewarded if you meet 3 of 5. Yeah, that's great. I'm real bad at rewarding myself. Oh, right. Y'all knew it was coming down. I was hoping somebody would put in a dad joke. Good job to Jess and Cheryl. Why did the chicken get a penalty for foul play? Wife told me to take the spider out instead of killing it. We had some drinks. Cool guy. Wants to be a web developer. I feel like I should have seen it coming. And it would have been a funny joke even without the web developer, but the web developer crushed it. All right. So on that, guys, thank you for being here this evening. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe if you know how, and comment down below. Is there something in your life that you think you need to change your perspective on? And what steps can you do to do just that? And until next time, I'll see you real soon. Good night, everybody.